Today we are tackling the downstairs living room. This is the room that I'm frankly the most overwhelmed and a little bit nervous about getting working on, but we're going to take our time with this space, really make sure that it's meeting our needs. So in terms of the overall function that we're looking for in this space, it's going to be a combined kind of multifunctional room, both TV, lounging zone, doing our hobbies, but then also a workspace for my fiance Noah. We've got a large room that we're working with, so we're going to think about how to be creative with layout, with colors, with overall vibe to make it fit all of those different needs. In terms of our overall goals for the space, we're looking to make it kind of comfortable, relaxing place to lounge in, to watch TV, to do all of those things. We also really want this room to be reflective of our personality and our hobbies. We want it to feel fun, exciting, a place that we go down and it feels personal. And then, of course, we need it to have kind of a focused zone where Noah can work comfortably every day. So let's get into the fun in terms of what we're looking for style wise. We're thinking of kind of Japanese inspired lower furniture, lower coffee table, some floor cushions, perhaps just that relaxed feeling overall. But we also want to bring in a few of those traditional elements stylistically just to go with the rest of the apartment and the style of the home. Especially down here on the lower floor, we don't have the crown molding or the hardwood floors, and so we can bring in more of those styles to the furniture itself. We're thinking maybe an oriental rug or a vintage coffee table. Our primary color here is kind of already chosen just based on the floors and the wall. We have this faux terracotta red floor and then these bright brick wall behind me, of course. So red will be a primary color and we're balancing it out with a blue. In terms of accents, we want to bring in some of the green from the bedroom as well as brown and beige from the bedroom as well. These rooms are next to each other, so we want to carry through that flow. Let's talk couch selection. This is something, frankly, that I wish I knew a little bit more about when we went into our decision. I'll say finding the right couch took a lot longer than I expected. It was a full day of shopping and then another kind of week or two to sit on it before we ultimately went back, tried the couch again, and made our final decision. What we landed on is this sofa here. It's the West Elm Haven sectional, the 113-inch version, which is their wider and deeper version, in a blue performance velvet. Ultimately, we've been so happy with this decision after living with the couch for probably about a month at this point. It fit our needs exactly. So, I want to talk about what went into that decision and our process overall. The biggest thing that we started with was just in terms of our overall requirements. What do we need for the sofa in terms of size, budget, functionality, etc.? On the size front, we actually spent time down here in the space measuring things out with tape to think about what the overall limit size wise was. We did know that we wanted a sectional in this space because of the size and because ultimately to meet that little loungy vibe, we wanted to have a sofa that kind of fit with that need. The next piece that we thought about was when it came to the fabric type. So for us, the animals do still take precedent. So with our two cats and a dog, we knew that we needed something that would work for them, especially for the cats. Our old couch has all these claw marks in it from the kitties, so we didn't want to repeat that mistake again. We wound up choosing velvet. It's really great for cats. Cats love laying on it still, but they have not sunk their claws into it at all, which for anyone who's a cat owner knows is a huge deal. The next piece for us was style. We wanted a lower couch. We didn't want visible couch legs, really wanted to lean into that Japanese inspired look when it came to the overall style and look of the couch. Then lastly was color. We wanted something that was a bit of a pop. Initially, we were thinking of an orange or a yellow, but ultimately we landed on this blue just based on what was available in the space. I think that was actually really the right call because it allows the couch to balance out the reds and the warmth that are already in this room with the cool tones from the blue. The final piece too that I'll note was on budget. We set a budget of around $5,000 given the size of sofa that we were looking for, and we were looking for something to last. But regardless of budget, it's really helpful to have that as a metric going in as opposed to kind of fluctuating as you go. Once we had our criteria, we went out and went couch shopping. So we went to each of the stores in person, tried out each of the couches. I think what we found that was a little surprising was a lot of the sofas that we liked style wise didn't actually match our needs comfort wise. We spent some extra time with it overall. We went in person. Then, maybe a week, 2 weeks later, we actually went back to the store to try things again to go ahead and make that final decision. Next is the rug. So for this space, we wound up going with an oriental style rug. We wanted to pull in a little bit more of the traditional style that's upstairs, since downstairs doesn't have any of the crown molding or the original features. One big pro tip for anyone with pets out there: machine washable rugs for the win. We got ours from Rugs USA. We have a ruggable rug. This one is way more affordable.
Let's talk about this coffee table, because this is definitely an example of a lesson I've been learning in interior design as we've been going through. When it came to the coffee table for this space, I really wasn't sure of the sizing. Read a few different articles about what it should look like and how to think about it, especially with the sectional sofa. I'll link those down in the description for anyone who's interested. I had done so much looking online for a coffee table that felt right for this space. I was really struggling with it, and frankly, I completely set it aside. Then I was scrolling through Facebook Marketplace for a dining table, which, spoiler, we still have not gotten a new one yet. And this coffee table came up. For me, this has really felt like the right balance for the space. Number one, the darker wood tone I think pairs really well with the blue sofa and the red floor that's already existing in this space. It also helps balance out what we have right now, which is a white media console. Also, in terms of the shape, hi Scout. Scout also loves it down here. Also, in terms of the shape of it, it's more traditional. Down some of those traditional features that we have upstairs from the crown molding and the fireplace, but that doesn't really carry down here overall. So I think that this coffee table has really been the right fit for the space, and I'd recommend, based on my own experience, to just set it aside when you need to. Ultimately, the right piece will come.
The space isn't finished. It's really kind of where we're going to leave it for now, but I want to talk through some of the key things we are working on and building out. Number one is the wall color. I still don't want to go to the effort to paint this whole room, but we may do that. Stay tuned to see and find out. The second and third big pieces are shelf decorating and decorating the walls. So for these shelves behind us, I've alluded to that a little bit. We are collecting objects from antique stores, thrift stores. It's still going to take more time for us to build out and to build a collection that feels personal and meaningful to us. I don't want to rush this process. I think it's really important to make a space really feel collected, lived in, and like it has meaning to us. I don't want to just go to Target and buy a bunch of decor pieces and call it a day. The second is wall decor. So for this wall right here behind me, this is the first thing you see as you walk down the stairs. And I'd really like to build out a large gallery wall here. We've started on this process and we'll share more as we continue to progress on it. We've bought about 8, some relatively large antique frames from a thrift store. Got a great deal on it, $40 for all 8 of them. And we're replacing the photos in it slowly, selecting things that have meaning to us. So stay tuned for those updates as we continue to make progress here. And let's go ahead and see the final or semi-final reveal. And while we're certainly not done, I am so happy with how this room has turned out. Now, next time, we are going to be tackling the dingy bathroom with some wallpaper and quite a few DIYs, including one for the floor.